A meeting will be held with GTAWU and the Minister of Labour on Tuesday with the aim of settling a dispute between workers and management at the bus terminus in St. George's, as the union has taken issue with the dismissal of one employee.
Wardens employed to the Grenada Port Authority to ensure the proper operation of the terminus on Tuesday downed the tools in solidarity with a co-worker who was dismissed on grounds of neglect. The dismissed worker is Lakeisha Charles, who has been working at the bus terminus for over a year. President of the Grenada Technical and Allied Workers Union, TAU, Senator Chester Humphrey, led the strike action on Tuesday. He says due to a difficult pregnancy, Ms. Charles had requested several sick leaves from her employers as she was not able to function effectively on the job.
The union has been forced to take immediate industrial action over the unconscionable dismissal of a worker, one Ms. Lakeisha Charles. Ms. Lakeisha Charles has been pregnant since last year, and she's been having a difficult pregnancy. She has sent in 6 separate sick leaves after seeing 4 different doctors.
Mr. Humphrey says the doctors indicated that Ms. Charles' pregnancy was a delicate one and she had to travel to the United States for further medical attention.
While in the United States, sent down her sick leave certificate. On the 16th of March, the Chief Personnel Officer at the Port Authority that operates the bus terminus writes Mrs. Charles the following: "Management acknowledges receipt of your sick leave dated the 4th of March 2010. Unfortunately, the document does not give the nature of your illness. Rather, it states that you are unfit to work until your date of confinement." This is the letter.
In a letter, her employer said that while they accept the sick leave, Ms. Charles did not state what the nature of her illness was. Senator Humphrey says doctors were not allowed to break confidentiality with a patient as serious implications may follow.
He demands of her to go and see a doctor appointed by him in a matter concerning gynecological and thing issues, a highly personal issue like a pregnancy, where you have to be examining your most intimate parts. Huh? He's going to choose a doctor to send the woman to. What is wrong with Mr. Philip? This is insanity. This is insanity, and this is why we describe this dismissal as unconscionable, and we demand the immediate reinstatement of Ms. Charles without loss of any benefits.
When contacted, General Manager of the Grenada Port Authority, Ambrose Phillip, says he was not available to make any comment on the issue at that time. Eugenia Peters, CC6 Newsnight.
We bring it back at home now, and wardens at the bus terminus in St. George went on strike today. They've been protesting the dismissal of a female employee by the Grenada Port Authority. Union President Chester Humphrey says the action by the Port Authority can only be classified as disrespectful and inhumane.
An individual called Ambrose Philip, who is highly unreasonable and inhumane, to fire a pregnant woman after he has had 5 sick leaves from her, 5 sick leaves going back to October last year, pointing out that she has difficulties with her pregnancy. She traveled to the United States for specialist treatment, and even in the face of that, because I want to read you the letter, the last sick leave before she was dismissed was sent to the Port Authority on the 4th of March. In fact, in a letter signed by the Chief Personnel Officer, Stephanie Gordon, she starts off: "Management acknowledge receipt of your sick leave dated the 4th of March 2010.
Manager of the Port Authority, Ambrose Phillip, could not be reached for comment. However, GBN understands that both parties were holding discussions with the Labour Commissioner late into the afternoon.
Ports Authority forced to reinstate a bus terminus worker who was dismissed during her final trimester of her pregnancy. The disputing parties met under the mediation of the Ministry of Labour to settle the raging dispute. All but 2 traffic wardens on the bus terminus were absent from work today as a sign of solidarity for Lakeisha Charles. The workers and their union, the Technical and Allied Workers Union, staged a protest against the termination of the employment contract of Ms. Charles, who was on sick leave at the time because she was pregnant. Chester Humphrey, President General of the union, says Ambrose Phillip, manager of the Grenada Port Authority, which governs the workers at the bus terminus, has no heart for dismissing a pregnant woman from her job, and he says with no merit.
the Port Authority appoints a medical doctor in Grenada, knowing that the woman is in the States, because they're responding to a medical sick leave which came from the King County Hospital. So they know she's in the States receiving medical attention. Yet he appoints a private doctor here in Grenada and tell the woman to go before the doctor in a matter concerning a pregnancy. Huh? This is not a case where the woman had a broken hand or a broken elbow. This is a highly personal matter, dealing with your most intimate parts. This is a decision you have to make before which doctor you will go. You can't appoint a doctor for a woman to go on a couch and lie down and expose herself to and so on. Highly unethical. Who Mr. Philip thinks he is? Doesn't he have a mother or a wife to subject them to that kind of thing? And then knowing that, then dismisses the woman and says she abandoned her job. This is unconscionable.
MTV tried contacting Mr. Philip to get his side of the story. However, we were told by one of his secretaries, who gave her name as Beverly, that he does not want to comment on the issue. Mr. Humphrey says that goes to show that the move taken by Philip is a case of insanity and heartlessness.
What is wrong with Mr. Philip? This is a case of insanity. How could you subject a woman to that at a time when she needs compassion? You dismiss her and put her under additional stress, saying she abandoned her job when the woman sent you 6 consecutive medical certificates indicating that she's unwell. And going to tell me I'm not following procedure? I'm not following procedure. When you're dealing with a madman, no procedure can contain him.
The union is fighting for the reinstatement of Ms. Charles, and according to Mr. Humphrey, the matter will be resolved one way or the other.